Welcome to episode 53 of our Football Manager Hobo To Hero series, which is not a very creative title, as I recognized yesterday. Then again, who cares? So, we managed not to get relegated last episode. That was something. So now, let's have a look at the results for the season. So you can barely see it here. Well, I guess we could pop up the league table. We did end up 10th of 14. That's not too bad. PDRM, they really made fun of themselves, I guess. But this is still better than Armed Forces the season prior to that. They had 7 points, if I recall correctly. So, yeah. The police as well as the Army Club, not doing well. Anyway, let's have a look at the player stats. So Elbuk still scored 14 goals, 12 of them in the league. Yeah, this is very important, right? Okay, can we look at last season? It was 8, so I'm off by 1 point. My apologies. Coming into the stream and making fun of me immediately. This is not this funny. Okay, thank you very much. This is German. It says Baron of Lies. So, yeah, as you can probably tell by the wording. Highest average rating is Elbuk Stills, though. No problems here. It is. It is. True. So, derived from that, we determined that Elbuk Stills' contract might be extended. We gave him a tiny bonus here, but reduced the loyalty bonus for the 2 years of his new contract. So he still gets paid 10% of what we have as a total wage bill. That's, for the number 1 player in the squad, that's not too bad. I think that's alright. Most assists by Ankun and McManamy. Okay. So here we have a slight discrepancy between what I expected and what actually happened. 2 assists by McManamy. Are you kidding me? And Ankun the same? He has 3. I'm not sure what's going on there. This might be related to the league. Or overall, I don't know. Maybe McManamy's loan. Nope, I don't know. Can't tell you. Doesn't matter. So they are very close. This is not really significant. Looking at the stats here. Expected assists for Ankun is 2.89, per 90 minutes. 0.74. Lee McManamy, on the other hand, 0.69. So that's not much better. In fact, it's worse. But it's so close, it barely matters. And none of the two have great assists per game. Is it chances created or assists? I forgot already. It's expected assists. Okay. So expected assists is bad. Progressive passes would be another indicator. I should probably compare this. Please tell me this is part of a comparison menu. That's... Well... Oh, we can maybe have a look at this here. No. I thought it had a reasonable stats menu. It doesn't. So progressive passes is 31.62. And McManamy has 19.09. So McManamy's worse from that. That's good to know, and also, I guess we expected as much. At least we should. Then again, if I look at the overall statistics for the club here, so goals per 90 minutes is better for Ankun. Yeah, well, wonderful. Assists per 90 minutes apparently is better for McManamy. That's weird. Key passes is better for McManamy per 90 minutes. Pass completion ratio is better. He has less shots on target, and, well, if we look at the attributes, Ankun definitely is technically more gifted. And we can also argue the mental side of Ankun's probably better still. That said, 4-year difference, So, yeah, McManamy is the younger one. He might get there. I still stand by I guess the perspective that he's not a really bad transfer. He works most of the time. He's obviously very prone to injury. Mazarin has the best pass completion. I'm not sure where that comes from. His technique is definitely bad. First touch seems reasonable. Passing is, well, little lackluster. In that role, it might be derived from the fact that he also he always has the inverted winger to play to, or if worst comes to it, someone really way back. So that's not too bad. He wants too much money, though. And Carrier has the most yellow cards, and we have no red cards, which is good. So you can argue maybe we should have gotten a few more yellow cards. On the other hand, maybe that helped us not getting relegated, who knows. Team stats. So we played 26 matches and we scored 35 goals. This is the third worst in the whole league. And the goals conceded is fifth worst. We also apparently had a lot of yellow cards given to us, 34. I wasn't aware, so yeah. Also, there's barely anyone watching our matches. So what do we do about all of this? Well, we need to reduce this, increase this, and maybe remain an additional year in the league to increase average attendance. Which reminds me, let's have a look at the reputation. All throughout Malaysia, how did reputation go? It should be somewhere. Isn't it in here? There it is. I found it all by myself. So apparently we now have local reputation. I think we were worse. I wouldn't know how much though. And we still have worse reputation than PDRM. That's something. Armed forces went up again. So they still have better reputation than us. We will need to stay in the first league for a while to get that done. Well, at least we can be somewhat sure that PDRM will probably be below us very soon. Alright. So there's that. As a result, I think we still are not number one destination for new players. The analyst report for the season, that's choo-choos, by the way. Wow. This is for the last match. I probably shouldn't go into this too much. So Elbukchak still shoots a lot more than the others, if I see that correctly. Yeah, unsurprisingly, he's our lone striker. Now, if he had a little bit more clinical shooting, probably the amount of goals scored would be even better. I don't worry too much about this. This is fine. Passing numbers seem to be huge outliers. So we do not play that many passes, but apparently we somewhat have accurate passing in comparison to the rest here. This is more or less a line. And we have somewhat accurate passing. So that might come at the detriment of some penetration, but we also consider this to be a defensive approach to a degree. So I'm not too concerned with this. That's alright. Pressing intensity. There is a high number of opposition passes per defensive action. And we position our defensive line way up on the pitch. Yeah. So the opposition passes a lot, and we don't really get them. This is bad. So we gotta do something about this. Either we press less or less high maybe. So we might still keep the defensive line high up on the pitch, but we start the pressing later on in order to congest the area a little bit more, where we are more effective with the pressing. Or I don't know. That's the first idea that comes to my head right now. Let me know if you have an idea about that. But it's obviously a problem. And I do not care much about the defensive line position. We could obviously move that back, but it will not make a positive impact, I think. So, or not necessarily. And Zakaria has a very low distance covered. Okay. But a high number of sprints completed. Okay. Interesting. So, he remains in the back most of the time, but sprints a lot. Alright, so we thought about playing him as a halfback, if I recall correctly. At least that's what me suggested. But first, let's have a look at what's needed next season. So this is the vision for next season. We are required to work within the wage budget. Yeah, they increased the wage budget, so this is great. Play attacking football, we somewhat did. Not really. Possession football, yeah, we did. Entertaining football. High tempo pressing football, and apparently it is now required that we make the most of set pieces. Well, what can you do? Grow the club's reputation, yeah, we did that. And again, it is required that we attempt to avoid relegation. So at least the board is not under the illusion that we are one of the big clubs all of a sudden. This is not Hertha, which is good. Big city club and so on. So do I accept this? Do we want anything here? Shall we negotiate this? Is some of this not good for us? Well, I can't think of anything. And if there's no comment from your side, we'll keep it like this. Alright. So I'll accept this. Next. Squad dynamics. Oh yeah. So the dressing room atmosphere apparently went up and the managerial support went down a little bit. But in general, both are pretty good. We do not want to sign a ton of players to disrupt all of this. As you can see here, we have a core social group, a secondary social group. I don't even know who's in there. Have a look. Secondary social group consists of Zakaria and Ahmad. That's not too bad. So that implies that Ahmad has some amount of professionalism. Given that these two get along. It's concerning though that, well, maybe it might not be professionalism. Shin Sum, on the other hand, he would have fit that group from my perspective, but apparently he doesn't. So we have problems here with Carlos da Costa Lima and Shin Sum. They are not included in any of the core group of the social groups just yet. So yeah, being alone in Malaysia on Borneo is probably not funny. All right, what do we want to achieve next season? Well, good question, Pinky. Same as last season. I do not think I ever watched any of this. Pinky and Brain. Just know the quote. So... Aww. Top. Maybe you would. Look at this. This is barely a squad. Can we, what's progress being made towards fulfilling the club vision objectives? The vision is to increase reputation. We can talk about this, right? We did do that. I think this is fine, but maybe the stuff with the reputation, yeah, bigger reputation would be great. Yeah, great. So Liga Super aims for next season. Not to be an ass, but I do not think I will follow the top half stuff. Also, thanks for reminding me. So we'll talk about this. We are in a good position to avoid. Yeah, well, but mid-table apparently is not a thing here. So we can avoid relegation. We can have a hard battle against relegation next year, and going into next season, I think we're in a good position to avoid a relegation battle. So the highest I can go is avoid a relegation battle. All right, let's be ambitious. Avoid the relegation battle. I'm putting too much pressure on them. All right, now everybody thinks they can stay up. Well, the quality of the squad is very lackluster, and we are missing 10 lone players right now. So, from the current perspective, we barely have any quality. That quality left us. So, well, most of it anyway. I'm not committing to any promises. I do not want to bring up promises. Nobody cares. Overall, morale went up. My attempt to convince Diego didn't go well. Welcome back, Diego. Season team report. I do not think I have to look at this. Just because half of the players that played are not there anymore. Also, this is a really great menu. There's obviously no space here. I think Football Manager interface is still designed for displays that are from the last... Was it called Millennia? Millennium. You know, the 1900s, whatever. So, don't want to talk to you. Go away. What we do talk about today, and I think I hinted at that in the Discord, is I want to talk about players. So, without any particular formation in mind. Yeah, but this game has a skin. It should be appropriate. Honestly, I don't get it. The default skin should work. This game has been, like, okay, not Football Manager 2024, but this series has been out for more than 10 years. I think they can figure out how to do a 1440p resolution. At least they should. Yeah. True. Maybe I should just complain. So, I realized, let's have a look at ability here. I realized that we can just slap in the columns here. I know, big news. So, this is the scout's opinion on minimum wage demand and maximum wage demand. We don't have any money. Well, we do, but I don't want to spend it. And considering I went with, I guess I did really bad management, considering the wage budget in general. So we have like 3K committed already, wherever that came from. It probably has to do with Diego. Or any of the others. So, I mean, we might actually want to loan out some of the more expensive players. Maybe not Elvak Chucksdell, but the others. Will they be happy with it? Definitely not. But I can't help it now. So, what I am happy about, though, is the fact that there's some players in there with decent quality that are somewhat cheap. Sorry. And I will just show you, if we filter here. Scott's opinion of the player's maximum wage demands and set this to 100. All of a sudden there's still this trash in here. Damn. Yeah, wonderful. Well, we can go about it this way. But actually I wanted to sort by quality here. So we know nothing about these apparently, due to the lack of scouting knowledge, but there's some players in here. This is... like, I know about this player, but this is a hard offer to throw out the window, isn't it? And it's the same with Rusty, really. Both were with the club previously. So 40 to 55 for Nizam, who just improved. Wait, I can't remember the medical report specifically. Yeah, he didn't get hurt that much. Yeah, 3.5, 3.6, 3.4. It's already in the club finance menu. Where is it? It says 3.2 here. Give me a second. I think it was in here. It is 3.2. So, yeah. It's what's in the financial menu here. We have 200 euros per week. Well, if we get rid of Diego, we have more. And I think I'd rather spend it on players. So, my question now is, in comparison to Badrul Hisham, and I want to compare these two, let's just do that. Badrul Hisham is on a non-contract. Here. That's not much of a difference. But Badrul Hisham being on a non-contract means we cannot get any resale value from him at any point in time. Looking at the attributes overall, that's very risky. And also welcome back to the stream. From a financial point of view, I actually think it would be reasonable to invest the money somewhere else. So, what am I going on about? Well, you know me at this point, you probably can tell. I think the 45 minutes, or the 45 euros or whatever he wants per week is really well spent. Even though he's 24. True. It's not horrible. So Badrul Hisham can remain with the club, but we had this guy in with the club already. Sure, he's somewhat susceptible to injury, but he's fairly cheap in comparison to his skill. Now, see, think about it this way, or at least I try to think about it this way. I think he can play in the league. He has an average rating of 6.68, so this is not exactly fantastic. I'm not trying to impress anyone with this. He did manage to help us avoid relegation last season, though, so chances are, given that he, increased in development. Wait, don't have any progress anymore. There we have some. Here it is. So, assuming he doesn't lose this again, he'll be more or less fine. I do not expect much more than 6.7 from him. That's okay though, 6.7 is alright. It is not great, but it will probably get us not relegated. If we compare this to the under-19s, there's players in here, right backs. We pay him 30. So that's 2/3 of what Mr. Nizam would earn, and the difference in skill level is outstanding. So sure, we could give him time on the pitch, but it's much easier to try to get rid of him, really. I'm not saying we will, but if we could, that would be great. Because the money is better spent on him. And I like his fairly professional personality and all, it's just, there's a large gap. So, my biggest concern with him is, well, he's fairly susceptible to injuries. We know that. So is this a good signing? I don't know, he's definitely one for the new shortlist, that's for sure. If he's not on it yet. Then I will remove him from that one. But add him to the actual candidates shortlist. I think he is. He's also wanted by Perak and Penang. So either we move fast or we don't. Let's have a look at a few other players. There's Rosemir Rosti here. I think it is, but where is it? Where's the youth grant? Yeah. So youth grant income here is 338, but I think the youth grant income is always a fragment of what you spend on the youth. I'm not sure how much it is. Let's Google that. I don't know. Well, I can't seem to find it. So if you find out how this works, let me know. But the youth grant income for now, I think this should be given by the league or something. It's very low though, in comparison to what we spend on youth players. 338? That's not much. Looking at all of these wages. That's not total youth contracts per week. Never ever. 338 is way lower than this. It might be 50%. That's... That's 30. 30 times 25 plus 5. We spent 755 on youth contracts. Is considered a youth contract? It is not. So 725. So it's half. Less than half. Or was it? An answer here. We get 338. We get 46%. Yeah, it's more like 13, but sure, you're correct. So are they worth it? I don't think so, no. I still think we should loan them out most of the time. We might play the odd player here and there if we cannot find a replacement. But considering that we have the chances to sign other players, it might be an opportunity to get high quality playing material that wants really low wages in. And there's other people here like Haroon, for example. This needs to be signed. if this amount of money is correct. That is decent quality. He's also a good personality and so on. We'll do that after the break though. So I'll have a short break now and then we'll move forward with this and make some signings. Sell one what? Sell one of the youth players? That might be an idea, yes. So I don't want to be an idiot about it. Hammer is still on trial with the club. Hammer, it's also fairly cheap, but we know that he's fairly susceptible to injury. This guy, on the other hand, probably is not. He's cheaper. And if we compare him to Hammer, I have no idea what the result will be. Similar, but faster. So what do I do with this? Let's have a look at it. We are still looking for a winger on the right side, so this might be appropriate. He's also 18 years old, whilst Hammer is 27. True. But I think there is an argument to be made that we can invest in players that have low age, high probability to perform in the senior squad, and well, low wages too. So maybe my management in the last few transfer windows hasn't been that stellar, but there are occasions like this where I think it might be entirely appropriate to splash the cash a little bit. So say we had like 5 players to sign, or no, let me put it another way. We have 200 euros a week. How do we want to spend that? 200 a week. And we can still get rid of Diego or something. So there might be room for more. True. So let's compare him to Baru. This is not the top priority yet. Very different kind of player. True. In particular, given that we paid him too much. So if there is no other club in the league interested, we have a hard time. That's probably because most of the, well, scouts from other nations probably don't scout Malaysia. The under 19 center backs are... Do we need to talk about them? Yeah, I guess we could. So this is Afik. He's tall enough. He has heading. And then we're basically done. Balanced personality, no performance to speak of just yet. There's not much to say here. He's 16. Roslan. 16 too. Also apparently decent crossing. The pace is okay-ish for a central defender, I guess. But I'm not really a big fan of this. Personality unambitious, yeah, it could be worse. And level-headed, so this is not horrible just yet, but it's not impressive, is it? This is not sorted by position for some reason. I don't know what I'm doing. So, I guess Umar is one to talk about. He's fairly pro, but I would argue this is not a central defender. What do we train him for? Ball winning midfielder for a reason. Yeah, he's too small for a central defender. I'd rather sign Fakrula. Not going there. And I think in general we will probably need to get rid of him, despite a good personality. He was fairly pro. Jeremy Brown. That guy can maybe jump from time to time. But remember, we do not only need one. We need more or less, I guess, 3. Assuming we keep Carrier, which we promised him, so... Abdullah is... He's not that horrible, considering we play him like this, so... I don't know. I guess low strength in Malaysia is not the biggest concern. He is somewhat pacey. But again, not on the level we're looking for. We talked about him. Then there's Dort. Not really that impressive either. Not sure if we had him. He's tall. He's tall. And somewhat pacey, actually. You said Abdullah, let's compare this. I have no idea. Yeah. So Abdullah's overall stats are better. Singam is the better jumper. For 4th option, maybe. I'm not saying we can't try this. There's also Johari. Again, if we compare him to Abdullah, so... Yeah, probably Abdullah. So similar arguments can be made in other areas of the pitch. We should probably go about this from the other side. This is Malik. Malik is the best player we have in the youth team. So I expect him to be able to participate up there. I think it was above average, the susceptibility to injury. So he can contribute, can't he? Obviously, the playmaker-ish attributes need a little improvement, but he'll get there at some point. He also has good balance. So I would argue we have a playmaker option, for example, available to us. In central midfield, in defensive midfield, if we train him like this, he will probably get there. Also fairly loyal, so I like to include this. Fairly loyal and level-headed, as expected. With this, yes. So, but the problem is we do not need a playmaker right now. Because we have two. So... I don't know. There's not even a schedule yet for this. So I can't answer that question. The fixture list has not been announced yet, as it says here. And you can also see this here. If we want to arrange a friendly, there's a ton of options, but we do not know about the matches just yet, and in March there will probably be league matches. So I do not arrange friendlies yet. I mean, I guess I could, over here somewhere. But we don't know about the training stuff either. So, also there's like 2 clubs that want to come in on a friendly. So what does it matter? We'll do that later. Going back to the under-19s, I think it is a good approach to play them at some point. But if we sort by ability, which is a rough estimate, Malik is definitely the top option here. So, shall we promote him to the senior squad? Or shall we keep him down here? That would imply that either Ankun or McManamy are somewhat replaceable. Well, not yet. He needs another year, but then he will probably be able to play up there. This is more of a defensive-minded midfielder. Maybe. Good passing, though. Yeah, same player type, isn't it? So maybe he's not that defensive-minded after all. We do train him as a playmaker, that's for sure. And that's Jafar. Jafar will not make it due to the personality. I really don't want to have that in my squad. But in particular, those down here, I think players like this, they need to go. Problem is, we will probably not find anyone. Great mercenary. Also, the transfer window is not open yet. So, we will have 2 signings. Well, no, we will not. Guti will join. That's it. He has good acceleration, at least. So... You wanted pace. Alright. I think I just added a player to the shortlist. To one of the shortlists. To the actual candidates shortlist. That is somewhat pacey. No, I didn't. Why didn't I? Where is he? Here. Yeah, but we need some, right? Yeah, and it's the same on the other side. 14 acceleration, 12 pace is probably appropriate. There's the issue here with the technical skills and with some of the mentals. Yeah. True. I'm not 100% convinced that this is a good choice. I would argue it's not a worse choice than Hammer. Hammer was similarly fast, had a little bit better technical skills, good off the ball movement, but no anticipation whatsoever. And we made do with him anyway. 6.89, yeah. 3 goals. Wow, 3 goals, 3 assists. Okay. He can go back to armed forces though. And Baru is hurt too much. Then again, maybe his second season will be better, who knows. So I still think this is a reasonable signing, just down to the personality and due to the age. And he's on an amateur contract right now. We might steal him away from the rest of them. 60 to 85. Alright. If I get this done for 60, it will be a good signing, right? So let's try this. We might not get him. Get him. He wants 100. That's a ton of money. So I'll start with 50. I think that's too much though. We will not do that. Definitely not this. Nah. I think it's still an acceptable amount of money, even though I'm not a big fan. Chances are somebody else will snatch him. Yeah. That's not enough. Alright. So, we can't do that. Sainudian. Well, he's cheap, but he's not high quality. There's also players that I do not know, like Hasnodin here. 23 years old. Might be interested in a transfer. That's really bad material, though, from one perspective. Soon to be former Perak player, maybe. Not really that impressive. But I think we will have options here. Keep poacher. What are you? Inverted wingback. Yeah. There's options. I just don't know yet whom to sign. So I guess the question is, what do we need? And how do we want to play next season? And I haven't really made up my mind about that just yet. So we play him. And we play with a central defender. I know, big news. Carrier is probably... We know that he can't pass a ball. So easy passes and stuff are definitely a good idea on him. In fact, let's have a look at his stats. So we did play short, simple passes on him, but we did play out of defense. He had 87% pass completion. Did he make many mistakes? Where is this? I'm not sure if this is in here. No, mistakes leading to goals, 0. Okay. So that's positive. He is a bit slow though, sadly. So, assuming we play like this and maybe take Elbok Jakstel off his target forward duties in this formation and play with pressing forward. Hold up ball makes sense. Shoot less often. He's not that great of a finisher, so I can live with that. Biggest chances. Take fewer risks. Passing is 6. His vision is 6. I can live with that. Hold position. Yeah, okay. I want him to be in the middle of the pitch. Close down more. I can live with that too. And tackle harder. He's not a good tackler. Close down more though. Work rate is okay. Stamina is alrightish. Aggression's there. Makes sense. If he plays like this, sure, why not? That would be possible. Oh, we have Da Costa Lima on the right wing too, so we do not even need a right winger. I'm not entirely sure if I want to play that way, or maybe push the wingers up higher on the pitch. Because he's not qualified to play as a defensive winger. Neither is Da Costa Lima. On the left side who's available, Harsey. He's not qualified to tackle hard either. So it doesn't matter much. We can push them up a little higher. Try to make them the primary threat, basically. Alright. Mana break. Then we talk about the formation, I guess, and what kind of players we need. Okay, so let's assume we do not get any defensive wingers, so it would be really useless to play players in this situation. I guess we could try. What about like wide midfielders or something? Well, that doesn't really use their pace. It might, but it puts less of an emphasis on it. So I think it makes sense to play with wingers, and if we play with wingers, we might as well play like this. That's still entirely within the realm of reason. So Harsey would be able to play here, Baru would be able to play on the other side. It's a very symmetric approach, but that's still alright. They don't push up too much. So we play a 4-3-3. Alright, what's bad about this? Well, Zakaria as a halfback apparently is a bit of a gamble. Why is that? Get rid of this. His composure is low, his physicals are not that impressive just yet. The rest of it seems reasonable. What's the amount of instructions for a halfback? Dribble less and hold position. He does dribble less. Holding position makes sense for him, given that he's a defensive-minded player. Well, he contributed a bit on the offense. Recently, we could tell him to take more passing risks, but it really depends on how we play and how it goes. So it depends, I guess, on the mentality too. On the right back side, we would have Badrul Hisham, even though we might lose him. And there's Mazran on the left. So we really need a central defender. We have a goalkeeper, he's not great. We even have a backup. That's the wrong position, man. Central defender is missing. So that's the number one concern. Okay. We try to close that hole. So we invite all of you on trial. Oh, we have another right back that comes back. So I think money spent on the right back is probably wasted. Come to think of it. Because Yilmaz will be around. His loan lasts another 15 days, yes. I still think loaning out Diego again could be a good idea. He's expensive and, well, we might find a replacement. That looks interesting at first glance. The natural fitness or the lack thereof is concerning though. Jimmy Raymond. He has an English name, currently. '32. So, the alternative is to loan him out again and to sign Nizam. We can still recall him. Was it Ahmad Nizam? Yeah. He's on trial and wants really low wages, and apparently this is in the red territory for some reason. I have no idea why. Comparing this to... not Jimmy Raymond. These two. So I guess the question is, what do we need? Do we need somebody that's pacey? Or do we need somebody that can do defending? He's really slow though. Could try to propose a loan extension. So we get rid of him for yet another season. Still let them pay his wages. We still owe him, right? We didn't even need to extend his contract actually. This is minimum wage for foreign players. We can still extend the contract afterwards. Yeah, so to extend the contract until the end of 27. If he doesn't develop there, we don't care. He's not wages that are spent for us. So let's try this. Oh, I see. They don't want him anymore. Okay, so he will come back first. Oh. Maybe we need to know until the transfer window opens. Plain and simple. There's a bunch of trials that finish. I think we had a look at these players. All of this is alright. Maybe have a look at the scouting. Here's the assignments. So Chuchu goes around the entire scouting range and that's it. But our scouting range is nothing. So we should add an additional thing here. There's 0 reports, by the way. This is useless because we do not have a scouting range. So let's get rid of this. He doesn't do anything. Not really, no. So now he has no current assignment. I mean, I think there's candidates. A few are on trial with us. But I didn't go that deep into looking for a central defender just yet. So, who are you? That's the director of football. Okay, assuming we use him. And no analyst whatsoever. Can he work as an analyst? No, he can't. So we send him for the matches now. For the next opposition. And Choo Choo can do something else. Choo Choo should be able to do reports on other teams, right? Or not? Why can't he report on Penang? Probably because we can't afford it. Alright. Well, we'll have another 28 players to look through. Given that the trials finish pretty soon. 31 messages. Okay. So we should offer some professional contracts, it says. I think we spend enough money on players that are just part of the youth team right now. Somebody offered for Yamaguchi. He's on the released players list, of course he is. Former player of Penang. Central midfielder. I don't have any report for him. Can't offer a trial for him either. Well, I don't know if I should be interested. The head of youth development decreased his wage demand by 25, which is good. Zainuddin's trial comes to an end. I do not think we want Zainuddin. No matter the wage. Same here. Same here. Not interested. So this all is fairly easy so far. Hopefully it remains that way. Hamza is a central defender with 3 points of jumping and 4 points of strength. He also dives into tackles and, well, I don't think this is appropriate. He's 25 for whatever reason. Bromley, 17-year-old goalkeeper. He is fairly professional. And he's unemployed. This is what I would usually spend my money for youth contracts on. Former Melaka youngster, apparently, yes. I'm not convinced. I'm convinced by the personality, I'm not convinced by the playing material so far. If we had money to spare, I would probably try to sign him. So I'll add him to the shortlist, not to forget him, but that's about it. Muhammad. Well, this is a central defender, but this is not what we're looking for, is it? I mean, it could be worse, but don't think so. Hassan. Nope. Tahir. That's better than the other ones, but really low attributes though. Where do we get these people? Fairly loyal fullback. Ali. I guess this is all released players. So they get released, but because they're not good enough. And we are sorting through the trash. Is a casual left back. Funnily enough, the attributes are not that bad. Like, overall, he's missing 2 or 3 points everywhere, but yeah, the casual personality, that's a deal breaker. This looks better, given that he's ambitious. Attributes, though. He has physicals and that's about it. I think in his position that might make sense, actually. So assuming we play him as a left back, just for a second, sort of like this, I don't know, maybe like this. At least he can run. So if worst comes to it, something like this is possible. Baharudin. That's not a good central defender either. Natan tries to play way out of trouble on the goalkeeper. I'd rather not. Neither do I want him. Here's tackling. I don't think so. Well, the good part about him is that his attributes are not that bad. He's also a professional and reserved, so this is a great personality. Comes from Manyang City. Why did they release him? Might be very susceptible to injury or something. He has bad mentals overall. This is more of a winger, maybe. Could play. He could try to play both. Emphasis on try. That's more of a youth signing, though. I can never go by these players if they have good personality. That's what I want for the team. Dicky 2.0. Maybe 3.0. I'm not sure. And Dicky himself was probably Moody 2.0. I'll try this. 80? Are you kidding me? No way. You get a nice little adhesion contract and that's it. Okay, so we won't. That said, he's a serious contender to me. Just because I like his personality. I think there's progress to be had here. Ifran Khalid, no. Samsudin, unambitious, no. Yeah. Has backup material. I know he's susceptible to injury. Same here. Also Manyong. He's a bit small. So if we get him for 30, I would consider this appropriate. I think he will progress somewhat at least. Don't care. Go away. I will not have a lonely move here. 65 is too much. As I said, 30 and not a cent more. Okay. This is too low. To the shortlist you go. By now, unambitious, shoots from distance, whatever. Dry. Not what I'm looking for. And bizarre. Also not what I'm looking for. Alright, let's have a look at Ibrahim too. Don't know anything about him, let's offer him a trial and move forward. Whilst moving forward, here we go. We will do another break. Sure. So, We paid another 120 euros to the players for their performance or the lack thereof in the Challenge Cup. But that's it. I think we had a look through most of these players recently, so none of them are good enough for us, or if we would want to invest in them due to the personality, they want too much money. Johor DT get 2.1 million in sponsorship income. We have 20k. But we did enjoy a small reputation boost, it says. That's great. Probably we will not end up dead last in the future at some point. That said, Sembilan and Armed Forces got promoted if I'm not mistaken, so yeah, we will still be dead last next season. Nobody wants to be assistant manager for us. We'll need to cope with this, with all of this ourselves, I think. Middlesbrough want Elias. He's been released by Johor. He's been released by Johor, so we can't offer a trial to him, it seems. And there are a few clubs that are interested in him. I think we can remove him from the shortlist. That's done. Modari signed a new deal. He now is a manager only and not a goalkeeper anymore. Well, I think he was a manager only prior to that. He ended his career. I want to get here. Once the transfer window opens, maybe there's some business. At least that's what I'm hoping for. Liga Super signings of the season contain Elbert Chuck Still as the runner-up. Okay, there have been rule changes. What rule changes? This is the new season, alright? No more than 6 foreign players in the match squad, not including... Well, no more than 5 foreign players, not including Southeast Asian, and not more than 4 foreign players, not including Asian players. No more than 5 in the starting 11, blah 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 blah. We need to register them. 5 subs can be used in free stoppages, maximum of 9 named. This is the same. Season goes from... No, this is the contract length for the TV contract, never mind. So there will be a new TV contract at some point. Bottom 2 teams are getting relegated. I guess this is spot number 1, because the rest does not get any money. Maximum of 9 foreign players. Maximum of 6 foreign-based players out on loan. Maximum 2 years of contract for foreign players. I'm alright with this. Financial rules say we need to pay 70 euros a week minimum for full-time foreign players. Okay. So I don't see any changes. Number of teams is still 14. Yeah. We are expected to be competitive in the Shupi Piala FA. We might not be in the other cup competitions, actually. We might not be in the other cup competitions. Or we don't know yet. Club will not be facing an additional tax bill in the upcoming financial year based on the financial records of the previous 12 months. Oh, this is way better. The main kit sponsor pays 66k per annum now. It was 20. We have 5k of scouting budget, and I will not start additional scouting now. We'll keep that money. We'll deal with it. I will reject all of this. I don't want news for all of this stuff. Continue this. We still need a physio. Continue that. Squad selection rules. We have a maximum of 5 foreign players in the squad. No, of 9. We now have 5 in the squad and 6 at the club. And there's the current squad size has 29. Are you kidding me? Oh, this is with the trial list. So we'll be fine here. Do we need 3 goalkeepers? We don't. We will receive 70k in TV rights over the following season. TV revenue last season was very similar. Yeah, it went up a tiny bit. The big deal is the sponsorship income. Last season it was 20k, this season it is 66k. That's a big surplus of 40k. No offers for free players. Don't want to convince them just yet. And, well, this is not really impressive. Ankun gets a 5% wage raise, same as Mazrin. That's not good, but I can live with it. Now he earns 140, and Ankun earns 250. And we will start the season playing Kelantan United in 60-something days. So let's plan a friendly. Somewhere around here, maybe. So we could play Kuching, or we could play Sarawak. I think we will do both. One here. If I manage to press the confirm button. And one here. That'll do for now. I think I will also fiddle a bit with all of this. So I will make this tactic the balanced one, actually. We will have a defensive one. Still use him as a box-to-box, still use him as a DLP. This is basically a contain tactic. We do not really try to score here. Low block, little lower defensive line. I don't even know if we want to trigger the press that much. We let him come. I never tried this. Let's try to have a defensive formation with less pressing. Distribution is not important. Countering, maybe. And I don't care about this. We will roll it out. We will waste time frequently here. And play more discipline. So this is our defensive tactic. I will save this tactic as the defensive low block. Then we will have a 4-2-3-1. And I would like to return this into another tactic. So they want us to play attacking football? Fine, let's do it. None of this though. Well, I should probably switch tactics. Can we do that? Alright. So we'll go attacking here. We will include 2 wingers, that's fine. I want to include a shadow striker here, no matter if they are capable or not. That's fine though, for the position. I think there's a reasonable argument to be made that we can play with a defensive forward in all of the formations. So let's try to do this. Pressing forward, whatever.
Hey, yet another member for the fan club.
Are you quite sure it's not a self-help
Welcome
group?
to the stream and thank you very much. So we do that. Zakaria and Ankun play back here. We do pass it shorter, all of this. This is all fine. We do still work the ball into the box. Attacking or no attacking. Roll it out, play out of defense, all of this is okay. What's not okay is this. So we try to do a mid block despite that and compress the space much more here. Maybe with a higher defensive line. So this is different. Not trapped somewhere in particular. We do get stuck in here though. So the players have different mentalities to them, simply. So this is not a defensive high block anymore, this is our attacking tactic. Last but not least, there's a... I guess we call this balanced mid block, because that's what we'll do. I know, shocking. We will have a variety of tactics with different approaches. Well, to a degree at least. Trigger the press a little less. We do trigger the press a little more here, right? Yeah. So trigger the press a little less, but not much less. Still roll it out, so on and so forth. I think the higher tempo passing is so part of our match, or of our game. In general, working it into the box always is. This does not necessarily need to be a thing here, counter pressing, if we lose possession. We just go back in formation. Okay. We will call this balanced mid block. That's new. Really entertaining, isn't it? Me determining this kind of stuff. Also, the newest follower is yet another, some sort of spam bot that dropped me a message immediately. Great. So, I guess we need different training. I'm not sure how though. So let's see if we can sell some players, and also let's see if we can find a central defender. This is what Mies was going on about anyway. So maybe we'll find someone. Ibrahim. He's on trial already, isn't he? Yeah. So let's have a look. We want a central defender. Get rid of all of this. We are looking for somebody that can play in this position. There's a few. Most importantly, there's Jeffrey. We know Jeffrey. Jeffrey would perform reasonably well. He wants 325 euros a week though. I like Jeffrey. Maybe we can loan him an additional time. Then again, he had his issues, right? And, well, he didn't get hurt for some weird reason, but I do not expect that to last. He asked to leave. He's listed for 1.5k. He's also a horrible jumper. Do we want to loan a Ukrainian central defender that is really more of a ball-winning midfielder? I think as a ball-winning midfielder he might do. Get him on trial and probably he will not accept and they will not let him leave. Takrula, I think in general is not a bad idea. He does have a history with us. Well, that sprained ankle is concerning, but otherwise, history of injuries is alrightish. He's also reasonably fast. Obviously with some weaknesses. But for a 25-year-old that we could sign right now, he's not horribly bad. That said, he's a bit more than we can afford. This is considered to be a poacher, and, well, for some reason he knows how to play central defender. I don't know why though. And this is cheap as fuck. But he's not a central defender by any stretch of the imagination. Would play for 30 to 40 though and might have problems with injuries. Great. For other players, there's not much to say. I mean, there's a bunch of 16, 17-year-olds here. A center back or two. So given that we cannot afford a scouting, let's try this. I know. It is... Ooh, interesting. It's a primary concern right now. I just don't want to sign a random person. Chances are we will find it, somebody that might be interested in playing on loan for us again. Other squads have players, so if worst comes to it, we'll just sign a loanee. Would you repeat the signing of Jeffrey? You remember the somewhat slowish central defender with the really good technicals and mentals from last season? True. Anyway, let's have a short break. BRB. There might be somebody available that's better. He might not be cheaper though. So that's a concern. Looking at this again, no, not this. So, according to this menu, this is the best central defender that's available. It's about both. We need really high quality in central defense, preferably. Not so... Yeah, I agree. No, he's susceptible to injury. That's where this is coming from. He has great natural fitness there. Or the player. Where was he? Here. That's C+. We'll wait a bit. We have a free on trial now. And I think if we find room in the budget, there might be a solution to this. Apparently it's a new thing that people... Well, there's probably just a bot that does this. Random account with some sort of cute-ass anime pictures and stupid messages that try to promote something. That's what happens to me all the time here. We had our tactical overhaul though. So now we have 3 options. Depends. I included a balanced tactic. Can you imagine that? Yeah, but not the balanced tactic. Me including it. That is new. Barely any interest in a transfer. That's great and all, but no. So we promised to keep Mazrin and Carrier. We did not promise anything about Malek. He's on a non-contract, we might just release him. Still think this is one of the better options, actually. What did we train him on? Ball winning midfielder. Okay. We need that physio back and the sports scientist. At least one. Yeah, that's not impressive, but it's alright. So at least he's shaped in the role that we need him to play, if he ever makes it. Staff really is a big concern. Okay, so I can live with that scouting department, as absurd as it sounds. For now. I will have a look for scouts with other nationalities. There we go. There's a Japanese technical director, actually. So we have a slot for a technical director. We do not really need a technical director. But obviously I want to waste money all the time. Where did he play? He was with Kushing. Mongolia? But this is playing history? No. Yes, it is. So he's a former Mongolian player with no scouting knowledge in Mongolia. Okay. Assuming he wants to be, well, he could want to be assistant manager. Let's see. He wants a ton of money, probably. Never mind. Nice talking to you. And this person is a sports scientist, and he's still way too expensive, probably. The scouting knowledge I like. Never mind. Can't afford it. Or don't want to. There's somebody with Japanese second nationality too. This is not the one we just talked to, this is another person. And he wants to be assistant manager or coach. He's shitty at both, which is fantastic. So maybe as an under-19 coach or something, there's a slot. Vacant under-19 assistant manager, alright? That would be appropriate. Wants to be coach though, and he wants to have money. So, no. Not interested. Can we include the scouting knowledge somewhere in here? Don't think we can. But there might be the odd staff in between here that has scouting knowledge somewhere. Alright. We go and have a look at the physios. Shouldn't have fired the last ones. That's a former Johor DT. Physio. Not too bad. Former Penang physio. So that can't be any good. Great adaptability though. He's with immigration and his contract runs until the end of the year, so I'd rather not. Kamarudin, on the other hand, no milestones, amateur contract. So, yeah, we need a physio. He wants to be fitness coach, seems. Interesting. So I try to sign one, and I will just go down this menu and see if anyone is willing to come and work for us for basically no wages. Which he doesn't. 230 is much better, but still way too much. From my perspective. 120 is way lower though. Oh, he wants to be under 21's physio. Yeah, never mind. I'm looking for a bargain though. So, this might sound absurd to you, but I'm looking for somebody that works for 30 euros. And I might not get anyone. There's no column here for expected wage requirements, right? That would help a lot. No, it's just the wages that they have currently. Great. So we know that somebody would be willing to do the job for 120 or something. Might be under 19's physio requirements though. 300 for a physio up here. 250. 230. 300. I have opened like 20 menus now. 220. Okay, so this is bad. Now I need to deal with all of these. Too expensive. Also too expensive. Way too expensive. Nope. There was somebody for 120 or something. But I guess he wanted to be under 19's physio. He wants to be fitness coach. That's it. I did decline the rest. Maybe we'll get one though. Hopefully we will get offers for players. I would be perfectly happy to replace the goalkeeper, for example. Okay. But no, that's in Japan. Fine. Hmm. This is why I did not sign this person. He knocks the ball past the opponent. Yeah, he's fast. I don't want it on central defender though. That's sad. I will end up with Fakrula anyway. Fakrula and Jeffrey. That, or I will bring back Jeffrey maybe as a third option or something. And then we will find out that he will play again. Definitely. Hmm. Who the hell is this? That's way more interesting. So this is a non-league club. The press speculates that we are interested in a central defender like this. Sure. Let's bring him in. There's also, theoretically speaking, given that Saffriy leaves us, we might as well do it the other way. They do have a central defender. Well, not really. He's also bad and 32 years old. And Congolese, which is not good for us due to league registration rules. So I guess they do not have a central defender. Nah. We could ask Cushing, as always. I guess we need a scouting budget to be able to do that. But we do have one. Do I need to have league scouting in order to send somebody to a club within our own league? Is that how it works? Alright, fine. I will spend 4.7k this season on scouting just so I'm able to send Choo Choo to... I should have waited. Never mind. It is what it is. New signings! Well, okay. This is not really a new one. So, we bring in a 19-year-old Indian resolute attacking midfielder. You might not appreciate it, but I'm excited. At least to a degree. For 75 euros and too many bonuses. Just until the end of the season, he didn't want to do a longer contract, so in case he hurts himself, we'll find out. I may also play him on the left at some point. And given that he's highly susceptible to injury, it doesn't show anymore. We will be careful with him. Saffriy is gone. Very happy he was sold. Alright. The lot is good, I don't care. Yes, in central defense. No carrier will be pissed. Okay. Let's have a short break. So, it was a bit longer than short. I guess it makes sense. We will register both of these. For now. That's a ton of foreign players though. We might have problems with the starting 11 now. So, Malaysian players should have priority. Ooh. This is not a bad player. He could play two positions. Problem is he's fairly susceptible to injury. So, same as Ankun. Passing is also a bit lackluster. I think the physicals in general are okay. He is a jumper, so that's good. Where does he come from? Oh, former Penang player. Well, in that case, that makes it even worse. Let's ask for the money. Wants to be star player. Sure. Never mind. I don't want to pay this. Remove him from the shortlist. What's this? This is a B rating, apparently. On Amat. 28 years old. I think we've had better. So. Not interested, thank you. That's a central defender that could be tolerable. He's a 31 though. On the other hand, as long as the attributes are fine, but his composure is between 1 and 5. Azri. I think I recall him. Yeah, he played for Man Young apparently. And I don't like the weight requirement. So I don't know why I have a look at this. Sabri. Tackling's reasonable, strength isn't. Former Malacca player. Also played for Penang at some point, and even for us. But that was prior to me joining the club. I don't think so. That is a good player, but I don't think we can afford him, can we? No, stuff's happening. So, we will not have this goalkeeper, which doesn't matter to me. Or shortlist released player, of course. I mean, I guess we could bring him in, but we can't afford a player of this quality as a striker. We do not have a second striker, by the way. So, it is still a thing, but the second one should be Malaysian. He's South Korean. I guess we do not offer a trial. We'll remove him from the shortlist. I can't afford him anyway. Han. Is this a good central defender? No. No, it's not. For that money, I get better. In a shortlist, yes, go away. Razali. He's a poacher. They made an approach for him. Sure, have fun. Ruzi. Fullback. We don't know much about him. Former PDRM player? Okay. That's not a positive, is it? So, we have that. I do remember Rusty. So, he had a 6.67 rating with us last season. This is not a signing that I would want on a permanent basis, and I think it was a spam signing last season, or we didn't find any better. History of injuries is not that concerning. That would be fine. Could do his job as a ball-winning midfielder. Could he also play as a box-to-box? I mean, if it comes to it, I guess. He's 20 years old, which is not that much of a concern. If I would loan him. He doesn't jump though. Nearly 1 meter 80 and he doesn't jump. He very much likes me though. I don't think I want to get him back. I'm hoping for somebody better, to be honest. I'll add him to the general shortlist though, at least for a while. Nazarudin is a former player of ours and he's been replaced. He is available on loan. He would be extremely interested in a permanent transfer. And apparently the estimated wage is way lower than expected. I think he was susceptible to injury though. Well, it doesn't say here. The overall history is not that impressive. It's not that horrible either. I don't really know what to make of this. Do we still have development from him? No. Also no loan report apparently. No stats from the old season. I think I'll give the other guys a chance. So, no Nazarudin. Zainuddin, I think we've been here. I do not really want him. Kyle Amir. He can't jump. He's moderately strong. He has a really big problem with composure. He's spacey. But this is concerning. No anticipation, no mental skills whatsoever. Never played for anyone here. And susceptible to injury. I think as a last-ditch effort he would be fine. It says terrific signing for the future. Well, I would need to sign him on a permanent basis then, and I cannot afford that, so I'm not doing that. That's... I mean, he's 31, so no development whatsoever. Physicals will probably go down. Jumping reach and strength will not go down any further, because they are fairly low already. As is the chance that he will play the entire season, so I don't think this is a good idea. Abu Bakr, that. He'll be expensive, won't he? We offer a trial. Herodotus Chu. I don't think I want him. Not the kind of striker we're looking for. Go away. Oh, I should have removed him from the shortlist. Well... Okay. Which reminds me, what's with Kushing? Now we can get a team report, given that we have scouting budget available to us. We'll do the same with Sarawak, just because we can. And what's close? We can find out in the friendlies menu, can't we? Mahan, Makarais, AS United. Syrinz. Alright, let me have a look at these clubs. Maybe they have some players. Chong Ai King, wow. Makarais. Well, they have youth intake at least. Obviously, this is all way smaller. Here. Terrence. In case you're wondering, I took a screenshot, so I don't remember all of this at the top of my head. And I do not expect this to bring up any valuable playing material, but sometimes you get lucky. Seer van Dijk. And last but not least, FSR, whatever that is. Faculty of Sports Science and Recreation in Sarawak. Sure. Most of them have some sort of youth intake there, so at least that's something. I don't know. Okay. There's an attacking fullback with a strong right foot that got pushed to us repeatedly. To me, this is a right back though, if any. And he's way too expensive, sadly. And we have right backs. I do not want to re-educate a player here. Hammer. But this is about trials finishing. So we have two options on the right wing. In fact, we have three now. Guti, Bauru, as well as, well, Guti's just fast, but whatever. Might still be a good idea to play him. So, no, I do not want Hammer. He's, at the age of 27, he's fine. But I don't think we need him anymore. So, that's a no. Samri on the left wing. That's a bigger concern, I think. Then again, I do not want to pay that amount of money. That might be entirely reasonable, but I don't want to. I don't have that money. Bakrula? That's a bit of a problem. Because we need a central defender. And I still think he's one of the better options, actually. Barely any improvement, though. On the other hand, he didn't really decline. I know, but he's fast. So if we combine him with Carrier, at least we have both. Also, he made 21 appearances last season. He basically played every single match if he wasn't exhausted. Yes, it's a 6.66 rating. This is not fantastic. What's your alternative? Hmm. Hmm. Like him? Like him. I should probably not send a scout there. Maybe. We'll do it the easy way. We'll offer a trial to everyone. Who was the other club that got relegated? Penang, right? Well, we don't have any foreign player slots anymore, so... I think the Frenchman in one of these clubs was a fairly professional player, if I recall correctly. So that would be good. I still think this is a reasonable signing to a degree, and the money involved is alrightish too, but can't really afford it now. Willy. Do we want Willy back? I don't know. Let's have an ad break first. BRB. First of all, I will play that Indian guy whenever I can, just to annoy the living shit out of you. Second of all, he's 26 now. He would be fairly cheap for a striker, I guess. No development potential whatsoever. And we could still play him as a pressing forward. I'd get that done otherwise too. Thank you very much. Okay. We can also play him as a pressing forward, I guess. So that's an option in central defense. If I compare this to Fakrula, I'm not sure what to say. He can't jump either. His mentals are, I guess, a bit better. Depends on what you consider to be better. Fairly susceptible to injury though. Don't think so. Nizam. I really think this is a good defender. And he's very, very cheap. Yeah. Bah. I wouldn't have guessed that he's the one I'm going for. But I do think this is reasonable. So, assuming I would try to sign Badrul Hisham instead, on a permanent basis. He has an agent, forget it. He will want 100 at least. I do not necessarily need a signing all the time. But in this situation, I think this is well within reason. And we will probably get rid of the 18-year-old again. If we don't, Badrul Hisham goes. Because Badrul Hisham's impact on the effective wage, if we play him all the time... Where is it? Where's Badrul Hisham here? Badrul Hisham gets paid 90 euros per match. So assuming we play a match every second week, and we play him all the time, Nizam would still be comparatively cheap, but under contract. And Badrul Hisham is 26, so there won't be any progress here, or not much anyway. The other one's 24, I know, he's not better. They are very similar. We do not need to fire Badrul Hisham though, we just don't need to play him anymore. He can still be with the squad, be emergency backup, despite not being emergency backup. And I will sign him. Yes, I realize he's susceptible to injury, but there's not much better we will get on the entire transfer market for that amount of money. So, I talked myself into this. He wants to be an important player? You gotta be kidding me. Okay. Now he wants 100. Nah. Nah. He's probably worth it. But I came into this discussion with another estimated wage on the top of my head, so I'll start with 50. And he won't like it. That is fine. Okay. Not too far away. Okay, I offer 60. How about that? Nope. Never mind. I still think he's a serious option here, but yeah. Paraga within... Paraga in the mood to sign him too. So, that might have pushed the wage. Also, Sandro Schwarz is now in Dresden. Poor sod. Now, a few of the trial offers got accepted. We'll just jump here. So we get 4 PDRM trials. Kenya has a new manager. Great. Hobo too. Mahazir. Yeah, it could be worse. Apparently Akansivi is a former player of ours. And Manyong City want him. No, I don't. Do we want a 32-year-old Montfacil? He's not that slow, not that bad of a jumper. Mentals are all over the place. I don't think so. Jimmy Raymond. I think we do. Why? You sure about that? So, you were against signing a 25-year-old Fakrula? Fakrula is way better in the marking area. Fakrula's mentals are better. Well, the positioning isn't, but between 11 and 13, I think this is fine. His jumping reach is worse. He is a bit stronger though, and he is faster. I think this makes Fakrula a better signing overall. Fakrula is, I think he demanded 110 to 140 or something. In Fakrula's case. Well, both of them are 1 meter 84 or 1 meter 80 something. Let me have a look at the Fakrula again. Fakrula is 1 meter 83. So they are more or less as tall as me. Yep, I agree. Then again, the other one has vast problems with the marking. 6 points of marking isn't good. In combination with 7 pace, he will lose his man all the time. So that's also an issue. And Fakrula is 7 years younger. He also knows how it is to play for this club. True, true. And if I compare this with Carrier, I think at least it's a different kind of player. Carrier is... Can we watch it? Look at this in aggregate. Carrier is a decent jumper. Carrier is the one to go for the air. In general, I think Carrier is also worse. And if we look at it a bit more into detail. So, Carrier, strictly speaking, is the better one heading the ball, and he has better tackling. Not by much, though. Better concentration. The rest of the mentals is as lackluster as Fakrula's. He's a little bit taller. As a result, he has more jumping. 1 point less in strength. I don't think there is, man. Not for us, anyway. Looking at the scouting menu again. Well. There's him. He knocks the ball past the opponent. His heading is shit. He's a little bit faster, but this trait on its own will probably be horrible for us. And if I compare this to... Let's compare this to Fakrula, right? I mean... Physically, he's better. His natural fitness is 5, though. So he probably won't be sharp anytime soon. Fakrula's is 15 and he played the entire last season. I don't want to talk myself into signing Fakrula necessarily, I just think that this is not better. That's my concern here. Look at these mentals. He's worse. Strictly worse. So that's not good. Pudsley is the one we just had a look at. Mendruk here. He has 1 to 5 points of jumping. I do not even need to scout this guy. I could sign him on a whim. Maybe he's a model citizen. What do I know? He doesn't want to come over for a trial. I could send Chuchu, but then again, this is a ball-winning midfielder. Yeah, maybe even... well, I don't know. The passing is bad. Leadership's good, determination's good, aggression's fine. He's a ball winner. And we do not have a second option. The pass, yeah, well, unlikely though. But we do not have an option besides Zakaria in defensive midfield. So that is an okay-ish way to go. And we could even pay 1.5k. I cannot afford his wages though. Well, we don't know what the amount that he wants, but supposedly I cannot afford his wages. Where is he? Here. Earns 120 right now. So that's Fakrula level. I don't have a strong opinion on that. Let me put it that way. On him as a central defender, though, I have a strong opinion. That's not a central defender to me. Him? I like the mentals. This is a good central defender if I want to stand in the back and do nothing. He's also a former Penang player, so you know how that went. Now they are one league below, and apparently he got released. Fairly susceptible to injuries. The history here is not that impressive, it's not that horrible either. But, yeah. Could go bad. He's also a foreign player. Could sign him as a Bele. His first name Bele? No. Who's Bele? Ah, but he. Yeah, well, yes. There's also... No, this is shitty. This is a poacher. He's also a poacher. Well, this was not a poacher, this was a wingback, but it doesn't matter much. And then down here we're in the hopeless territory. This is all bullshit. There might be something amongst these youngsters here. I don't know. Maybe him, maybe not him. But given that I have one central defender right now, yes, something might come up on loan. Or we just sign him again. I mean, we need 4. Okay, one can be a youngster from the under-19, so let's make it 3. Carry us around, so let's make it 2. That still means we need 2 central defenders. And even if Fakrula is number 3, for number 3 he's acceptable. So if I had some money to spend, it's probably not a bad idea to spend it on a central defender. Assuming he still wants 100 euros. There's also this stuff, so that's not too bad. And I mean, I guess the argument is he did play last season for his performances. So I'll try that. He's interested in Kushing, less interested in Kelantan. Wants to be a regular starter. Diego, the goalkeeper, Elbuk Chakstel, and Ankun. This is easily one of the cheapest signings for that amount of quality that we'll get. So I think this is fine. And I will do this. Let's try to hit 85 first. 250? Yeah, sure. For a 2-year contract you can have that. He can also have that bonus, and I do not care about the fees here. This is all reasonable. I will try to include a clause if we avoid relegation in the final season and he makes 15 games. Which I expect he does. He's okay with that. So let's make it 90. And stick to that. If we can... Well, he doesn't like the automatic extension. Nearly there, he says. Okay. If nearly there is the thing, we will increase the signing on fee to 300. Maybe increase the clean sheet bonus. He will rarely get that anyway, considering our team. Let's stick to 90. He's a regular starter, so the unused substitute fee is unlikely to be triggered. And I will increase this by 25 euros. This will not help much, will it? So let's increase the appearance fee, actually. Yeah. Because I'd rather pay him 5 euros if he makes the appearance than not paying him in case he gets hurt. He's pleased that we always reached a deal. Let's throw an additional 50 euros at him for each of these cases. Well, he'll get an additional 50 euros for signing, an additional 50 euros if we do not get relegated. That works. Time for a break. Seems like he does not insist on that big of a non-relegation bonus. It will be 40 euros in the end, you'll see. You gotta be kidding me. He doesn't insist on it at all, does he? He doesn't care. So, unused substitute fee is one of these that is also unlikely to make an impact. We'll just remove this. He doesn't care. So the appearance fee he will insist on. He does insist on the signing on fee, by the way, I tried. So let's try to remove this one. I thought about it, but we still need a we still need a second central defender alongside Carrier at least. So that will be Fakrula. Given that he plays for 90 euros a week. I think this is a very reasonable signing for that amount of money. And apparently he doesn't care about the clean sheet bonus, so cool. That makes it 100 euros per week. €100 from the wage budget. From a wage budget of 3.2k, so if we had a bunch of players with contracts like him, that would make it 32 players. That's way more than we need. I'm not sure if I agree. A 30-something-year-old, it's him. 32. If I compare him to Carrier, so Carrier is more of the jumping type. The physicals are way better on him, that's true. Not him? Who then? Him! Okay, you have a point. He's a current international, though. Fairly susceptible to injury. I don't want to talk myself out of this. He might be okay. I also like this. He might work as a coach alongside it. So, assuming we sign him as a player plus coach, that would be a great, or at least a good deal. He might add his scouting knowledge after all. So, I would like that. The problem is he will probably want 400 euros. You know what? Let's have a look. He wants to be star player. Okay, that's to be expected. This I don't think I can afford. Maximum is 350. We would need to go past elbow chuck still for this. Maybe he will reduce his wages later on. But this is not appropriate for us. Yeah. That said, I will move him to the actual candidates shortlist, but he's too expensive. So Raymond was decent, but I don't think this is the top priority right now, and he's 29. Ahmad. That's a center back that knocks the ball past the opponent. Rosaimi. We do not really need a goalkeeper, do we? Come shoot in. I mean, knocks the ball past the opponent is weird on him, given that he can dribble. Doesn't make much sense. This all is useless. Let's talk about these two. This is a goalkeeper that I don't need. So I'll remove him from the shortlist. And this guy is a left back that I don't think I need. So I'll remove him too. I think Chernullet has a point that we can try the under 19s as backups first. Financial circumstances don't necessarily dictate that we need to do it that way, but that would, well, it would imply some development for some of them at least. So I'm not 100% against it. There's also, in case you missed it, so I will just go about this. We have a balanced mid-block tactic now, with, I think, less closing down than previously. Where is it? Standard triggering the press and so on. I might push up a little higher, maybe, or press even less in this situation, but this is just the average. In the U19, yes. Then again, maybe once the contracts run out, we get some resale value from them. So there is an argument to be made that maybe it's the better approach, long term. This is our formation on the attacking side. I actually did a decent attacking formation here. So we will try to do short passing through the opposition defense with pace. That's what we're going for here. Obviously, we can adapt this on a match-by-match basis, do positive or something. They will be fairly used to that. And we also have this kind of formation. I do not think that this is appropriate. We do not have defensive wingers. But for the last 15 minutes of the match, or if we are really underdogs, this can be fine. I did follow through with the idea of Zakaria as a halfback here, as me suggested. I think for this kind of formation, this might be a good idea. We do not push up that high, and we do not press that high, but it is still defensively minded, the whole formation, with possession in mind. All of these are. Yes, that's true. And we had a hard time with that. On the other hand, we did get rid of some of the players on loan, like him. Whom did he play for anyway? Kelantan. So they even paid a fee here. They didn't take over the whole wages though, so in the end it was a wash. I think that's also part of the truth. If, theoretically, somebody offers for one of the players that have higher wages in our squad, maybe with the exception with the exception of Elbuk Chucksdale, because I want to keep him. But if somebody offers a decent amount on loan or on a transfer for one of these players, they are probably for sale. We're up for business. We will find replacements on that level or slightly inferior for way less money. I realize that we go for quality here, but on the other hand, as long as we can keep players like Carrier, Mazrin, and I don't know, maybe even Yilma, he's probably too slow. But as long as we have players like these, we stand a decent chance at least to remain in the league. I would not argue that we have good options to, I don't know, challenge for Champions League spots or even the top level, top half finish. But if we save 150 or 200 euros a week by that, neither do I think. I think he's acceptable given that he's around already. Like, it could be worse. Right? Looking at this, it could be way worse. I'm not saying he's great. Then again, his mentals will probably go up a little bit at least. And he's 24. I did try, by the way, to sign 2 professional youngsters. But they both wanted 70 euros, and the maximum I was willing to pay was 30. I would have done that. There also seems to be a lack of interest in working for our club in general. Okay, who's Baharun? Do we want him? Former Perak player. 24 matches, 2 goals, 2 assists. I don't think I'm interested. Who's Asnan? Another central defender. I thought about it. But, well, goalkeepers I do not really need. We can try. Well, I cannot trial him in, so off he goes. And with Baroon, nada can I hear. Because we have to. His contract is way longer than we need. Well, we're stuck with him basically. And I'm still hoping that he will learn how to perform at some point. It's a weird combination. I think he's not shit from the attribute perspective. I also think the very consistent performer and relishes big matches. I think that is visible sometimes. The problem is his standard is way too low. Overall, well, form doesn't show. 6.7 rating overall. So, is this entirely down to him? Not sure. Does he have low agility? Yeah, it's 6. Did he improve? Barely. Barely. Former Penang player. We should have known. Well, we didn't know back then. That's true. Well, then again, maybe that's just the way we perceive it. I mean, on paper he did do better. His attributes are definitely worse though. His personality isn't. And he's highly susceptible to injury, so don't know. I think I will sit this out, because he doesn't want to leave anyway. My client may not react well to being offered 2 clubs. And he doesn't want to leave on loan either. Yes. The expensive one, yeah, so they are both somewhat expensive. Mod Jalil is on 240 a week. If I hire an intermediary, will he not complain? There is no interest in the player at the time. Okay. So, transfer window is open. It's opened. Yes, he's Malay. He speaks Malay and English. So, that's not a big concern. Funny part is, the one that speaks Chinese performed better. He has some basic skills in Malay these days, though. But he's level-headed plus fairly pro. So his contract runs until the end of the season. The problem is he's fairly susceptible to injury. I think he's highly susceptible to injury, actually. I don't know, I don't have a physio anymore. But I think it was highly. Did you have a look at this? Okay, the under-21's empty at this point. I think with most of them... So, you want me to get rid of one of the... No. Did you have a look at our goalkeepers recently? I mean, I guess. It could be worse. I honestly think this could be worse, yes. He's also on a non-contract, so the moment he progresses, he will be poached. But who knows, we could offer him a contract. This one needs to go, but he's still under contract. And this one's too young and also shitty. I do not know why I press the signed recommended players button all the time. The next youth intake, you need to keep me from doing that. We will not sign the entire bunch of trash. The next youth intake, we should set up a limit, like sign 5 players or something. Just get rid of the rest. It's rubbish anyway. We will sign them by good personality and or high skill. Yes, I know. Well, sure, I do too, and then I regret it. Like 3 weeks later. Okay. In my save? That's appropriate. I can accept it. So, not much to see with KR Rovers. Yilmaz's about to return. Ibrahim's trial comes to an end. So, this is not half a star player. The problem is it's also not financially viable. I think I tried, he wants to be star player and 450 or something. And I do not necessarily think that this is a fantastic choice. He could play on the wing too, so no concerns there, I guess. Hell, I would even play him as an inverted winger probably. That said, he can't dribble. So in this situation though, some sort of central midfielder, box to box, whatever. He can play most of it. That's concerning though. Former Penang player did have decent performances there. And if I try to sign him, he doesn't want to talk to me anymore. Yeah, but I'm not sure if I want him at all. He will not go down to 80 all of a sudden. And we do not necessarily need somebody in central midfield, so I'd rather not. He's on the released players shortlist, so I will move him to the shortlist to the default one, okay? And in a year he can go. Your trials finish. Somebody tries to offer for a striker. I don't care, we have a striker. We actually could use a backup striker, but I think this is something that can be done by the under-19s, actually. Like, I don't know whom. Isham, maybe. Actually, Isham, maybe, yes. Or one of the others, and I will need to get rid of most of these. Hell, we might play Silverai. Why not? Alright, I'll include another short break. There's a 22-year-old named Motnor. That just got an offer from PDRM. I don't know much about him. I cannot offer a trial to him for some reason though. So I guess off he goes. This could be a reasonable signing. He's way too expensive though. I don't want to pay that. And in general, I do not think I want this player. The mentoring group needs attention. Well, why? Did someone leave? Oh, Saffriy, maybe. Okay. So, this mentoring group is supposed to teach some professionalism. Let's go there. Who is available here? And also, Chinsio Sum avoids using weaker foot. So it should be somebody with a really weak foot. Preferably a young guy. Ahmad doesn't count. Zakaria doesn't. Carlos da Costa Lima is just right-footed. Same as him. Manami Cario has a reasonable left foot at least. Now we're getting into the, I don't know, territory. So, I guess he applies to a degree. If we set it up like this, though, the bad personality of Mod Jalil, supposedly bad personality of Mod Jalil, would have an influence on the others. Is this that bad? I don't know, I'll probably scrap the entire mentoring unit here. This, Amran, Mazrin, and Harsi. For some determination. I mean, could be worse. We do have a bunch of youngsters with professionalism these days, though. Let me have a look at that again. It's Zakaria, Ahmad, and Gutri, maybe. Ahmad is considered to be somewhat professional, even though it says lighthearted. We could also try McManamy in that group. So let's just try to slap them all in one group, or into one. Costa Lima is balanced. Well, I'll bring him too. So what would happen here? McManamy would have a high effect from the group, as would Zakaria because he's too young. So if I removed Zakaria, not to lose his professionalism, then Guti would not have an influence from McManamy. Ahmad wouldn't have on, and Da Costa Lima wouldn't have. McManamy, though, he would have a positive influence from the rest of the group, given that they are, well, in aggregate, this is probably more professional than McManamy himself. So I consider this a positive, maybe. Alright, we'll keep it like this. Maybe, can we have some additional group here? What's left? Bunch of balanced people. I mean, I guess bunch of balanced is not that bad. Throw in the rest, see if there's any effect. That's not that bad, is it? Probably the personality of Mod Jalil will have an influence on the rest. But in general, this will result in some sort of aggregate personality. This is not too bad. So I can live with that. I'm really waiting for the next generation, in a way. He rejected respect. Well, why would you do that? And would you want to come in on trial, maybe? Oh! Chuchu did his job. Nice. So these should be loan options. Okay. I do think we can agree that this is a possibility, but it's not what we're looking for. So yeah, we want a loan that is an improvement. Well, not an improvement to like Jacksdale, but an improvement to the depth of the squad. We have similar in the under-19s, maybe not to that degree, but it's not worth the loan. There's your similar argument, right? Decent poacher. I'm not saying he's bad, but we have similar or options. He's also fairly susceptible to injury, might as well play our own. This is a low level of determination player, I don't want him. Yeah, but it's not about the personality, I think in general he's not good enough. Basil he's an ambitious guy. Didn't we want this guy as a central defender? Somebody told me. He's a realist. Outspoken, volatile, and confrontational. Never mind. I don't know why this is green while the rest screams red. So we won't do that. Go away. Azmi. Nope, not interested. And Arman. Fairly ambitious, the pace is fine. Technicals are a bit off. We had another one as an opportunity with lower wages. So hopes are Chuchu comes back with something like this, yes. Additional options for loans. There will be none from Sarawak. But hopes are he comes back with something like this from one of the minor clubs. And if he doesn't, we will send him, I guess we will send him over to the rest of Malaysia. Where we just got a report, so that seems to be the loan options. You think there's more players there that might be willing to come over on loan? But did not appear in the report because Chuchu doesn't know what he's talking about? That might be a concern, sure. Belgium. Or Hakim. He did play in Belgium. So that makes sense. Well, we could do that, yes. I will offer a trial to him, because why not? He might reject it. And with the Kuching players, it doesn't say anything here. Wow. I think that's the ones we just had a look at. So, generally speaking, yes, there might be a player in here that might be appropriate. And Pedro Henrique, for example. Or maybe not. Yeah. I think we know most of these players. So, can't we just flick through them with the quick flicks here? He doesn't know how to jump. Not that impressed. I don't think we need a right back, not of that quality anyway. He's not better than what we have. Not by much, at least. Bukai. He's okay, but also a 700 euro per week star player. I mean, his heading is a bit shitty, and he doesn't know how to jump, but at least he's pacey. That said, he's Japanese, so we will have a problem playing him at some point. We need somebody from Malaysia. Hassan. That's not better than what we just signed. Not by any stretch. He's okay-ish. Off the ball movement's concerning. I think we have similar. This is one that I do not want. I think he may have a history with us. No, I confuse him. Still, so he's not really a great passer. He's somewhat fast. His strength is 1 though. But he can tackle. So I don't know what to do with this guy. Same here. Also, we have similar players at this point. And to be honest, we don't need an attacking midfielder. A central defender with 1m66? Yes, that'll be the day. Nope. Khalili. That's That's reasonable. He does have bad positioning though. And I do not think we need a left back right now. Mazrans are available. Yes, we do not have a backup. So that could be an option. They will not loan him to us though. Nope. Not to a divisional rival, they say. Okay. That might be the argument why this will not happen anyway. He's a 16-year-old that's resolute. That's good. He also argues with officials. That's bad. Well, he's friggin' fast. I'll give him that. He doesn't have anything else though. Just in theory. He's too young to go out on loan. No. I don't think so. He goes to the shortlist though. Just for fun. Agility is good. Handling kicking one-on-ones is really bad on him. I don't think I want this goalkeeper. He has good passing and good vision. Really bad balance, sadly. He can run. This is an artist, not a footballer. He's also 31. Pedro Henrique has a very good finish, good technique in general. But he's in decline. Rashidi. I think I had a look at him earlier. That's not horrible, but it's not fantastic. This is okay. I think. This is comparable to Baru for me. In fact, I want to do this. Yeah, somewhat. Better mentals, better in the air, better technique, better attacking. Apparently. It's a bit hard to determine. We do have backups on the right wing though, so I don't think this is appropriate. This would be appropriate. That's a decent player. Really good tackling. Can he do a halfback? Barely. Not really. So, assuming we get him in on loan, for example, it would be an option to loan Diego away again. Then again, we will not get him. Or we might. We might. He's really tiny though. Well, it's just a different type of player. What's wrong with him? He barely played last season. For no reason whatsoever. He's 23. Can also do a playmaker-ish duty in midfield. What do you guys think? On loan? Comparing him to Amkun for a second. No, I will not, because I want money for Diego. I think we'll get him for free. I will offer Diego on loan as a matter of principle to anyone. So that would be a net positive of 200 euros a week or something. If we can pull that off. Sure, squad player is fine. I will not go with this. Loan cannot be terminated. I want to be able to terminate this in case it comes to it. They do expect him to play as a defensive midfielder, though. So he would be more likely to be played as a playmaker-ish option. So he's actually a replacement for Ankun from that perspective. I'll try to ignore this. Unlike the offer here. Like this. And they can come back to it later. Alright. Nope. 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 As a backup, maybe? Nope. Not interested. And I think we're through with this. So, we'll find out next time. I think I'll wrap it up for today. It's 3 hours, 10 minutes. So, I will see you all soon. Have a good evening, day, whatever. Yes, true. True. But the problem is he's not a good defensive midfielder. That's not the thing. So, you know what? We will also offer our Diego now. He is open to speaking to other clubs. I will not list him, I'll just offer him out. So, if somebody is willing to pay that, yeah, we will find a replacement. And I think between Ankun and Zakaria... Where the hell is he? Probably on the set. Diego? Or whom? Well, depends. If we need him, it might be okay. It all depends on the circumstances to me, really. Apparently he doesn't feel that loyal to us right now. Ah, I see. Well, he doesn't want to leave though. And I think we tried recently. It's very similar with Ankun. He doesn't want to leave. Ilbuk Jastel might. Or not. So, who's left that's expensive in this squad? Barely anyone. I mean, I guess we could try to loan out Amran, for example. Director of football plays somewhere else. What do you think of that? That would be funny, but also useless. He's new. He's not that expensive. Same as Ahmad, Da Costa Lima, McManamy doesn't cost much either. Also, if I loan him out, he will probably be dead when he comes back. But Hisham's not on the contract, and that's it. So, where do we spend all the money? Is the question, isn't it? Here. Up until Mazrin, basically. I would argue the 140 euros on Mazrin are well spent, though. We can say maybe Chin-Siu Sum earns too much. Not sure if we need to get rid of him to reduce that, though. We might also offer an additional year of contract for him. maybe reduce it down to 70, then it's entirely reasonable. So maybe renegotiate some of these contracts. There's also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 foreign players in the squad now. And according to this sorting rule, these two are way too expensive. But we'll play them this season. For now, though, as I said, I'll wrap it up. So, I will see you all on Friday latest. Thanks for watching, as always. And, yeah, until episode 54, bye.